Hey now, friends, it's me, Lola. If you hear some talking in the background, don't worry, it is the family. My daughter is playing Dr. Daughter today, and she is doing some great work in caretaking and learning and all of that good stuff. So if you hear something happening, that's all it is. So grace and peace to everyone that's coming on, everyone that will come back on the replay. Listen, I got something I want to share. It's actually pretty interesting, something that I saw recently that I want to talk about, and I want to get your thoughts on it. I want to see if you agree, if you disagree, if you're indifferent, if you're neutral. I want to see what you think about it. So I'm Lola with the Smoking Prophet. The Smoking Prophet is a life advice brand designed to resource you spiritually, creatively, and socially. Our goal is to give you what it takes others years to get, and we do that through a bomb blog, thesmokingprophet.com. We have tons of goodness and glory over there to help you do life better. And also through a podcast, the Smoking Prophet podcast, which is available anywhere you listen to podcasts. Go and check us out too. So today I want to talk to you about a news update that I saw about like some new drugs. And I'm sure that some of you all that are coming on and that are listening, y'all have heard about this stuff. You've heard about microdosing, you've heard about alternate treatments, you've heard about like using certain things to have these outer world, ethereal, dream-like, lucid experiences, not experiments, but I guess experiments is the right words too, because there's a new drug that is going into clinical trials and a bigger experimentation process. So I guess I use that word for the right reason, right? And this drug is called psilocybin. Psilocybin. It's like one of the um, it's one of the ingredients in magic mushrooms. I was trying to avoid using that word, but it's not going to work. But it's one of the like drugs and magic mushrooms, and it helps to put people in these psychedelic states, and that's used to heal them in some cases. So I saw this article that just came out like today, like several hours ago. It's called Magic Mushrooms May Be the Biggest Advance in Treating Depression Since Prozac. And this is a Newsweek article. But before I get into like the article, let me tell you about like this Hulu show I just saw. Who watches Hulu? Let me know if you watch Hulu and all of that good stuff. So I saw this Hulu show, and it's called, why is my computer window on CarMax? That's strange. But anyways, it's called Non-Perfect Strangers. Has anyone heard of that? So there's this Hulu show, and it's called Nine Perfect Strangers. And in the Hulu show, like these people, I'm not gonna spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it, but anyways, these people meet up at a treatment facility. It's like a wellness facility that's called Tranquillum or something. And it's nine people. They've had some struggles that they want to help overcome, and they come into this treatment facility. But when they get there, like it's a lot going on, and ultimately they're being treated with drugs. Drugs is being given to them to treat them. And I think on this show it may have been like LSD or something like that. So before this happened and it was revealed that these people were being drugged and drugs were part of their treatment process, I kind of like guessed it. I saw this Netflix series maybe like over a year ago. It's called Unwell. I don't know if anybody's heard of that one, but Unwell was just about like alternate uh, what is the word that I'm looking for? Alternate treatments to help heal the body. And something that it talked about on there was another like one of these psychedelic drugs. And this one is something called ayahuasca. Has anyone heard of that? First of all, when I saw that episode, it was so cool. So these people will go to like another country, they'll get a shaman to help them out. And I'm laughing because I'm thinking about this comedian talking about his experience on the Breakfast Club, which I'll share that in a minute. But, anyways, they'll go to another country. A shaman will like walk them through the process, and they drink this stuff that comes from like plants, and they will trip out and have this like outer world experience. But a lot of people that have used it have come on, and they were on the show, this series on Netflix called Unwell. They were on the show talking about like how it's helped to heal them, how like they saw things, and it was just cool. And then I've also heard like some downsides to the treatment too. But anyways, when I saw this Hulu show about non-perfect strangers in this treatment facility using like these drugs, I was like, oh, okay, I see where this is going, because I've seen a lot more talk about microdosing. I've seen a lot more talk about using like psychedelic drugs and using things like that to help heal the body. I've seen that. So I see where this fictional show is going. It's actually mimicking real life, because in real life, this is what is happening. So I don't see any comments. Oh, there they are. Grace and peace, Angel. Okay, so yeah, Angel Williams is in California. She's on the West Coast, and she said they do it here too. They have retreats. Yeah. So like when I saw like the show Non-Perfect Strangers, and when I saw like the Unwell series on Netflix, and it's talking about ayahuasca, I was like, okay, I see what's happening here. But anyways, the Breakfast Club show that I was watching, let me slow down. The Breakfast Club show that I was watching with the guy talking about his experience with ayahuasca, it was a few weeks ago, and the guy's name is Neil Brennan, Neal Brennan, Brennan. And you can just go to YouTube and Google Neil Brennan and Breakfast Club, and it should pop up. But he talks about how he used it and how he had a very deep spiritual experience. And before he tried the ayahuasca, he was not a believer in anything. He was an atheist. But having tried it, like, he just felt this interconnectedness and had this experience that has now caused him to believe in God. That is crazy, right? Okay, so I am not saying this to tell you to try drugs. I personally don't do drugs. That's not my thing. I like to be in control of my faculties and members, and I just don't want to do it. But what I am introducing to you is that the medical world is beginning to embrace some of these things that we've demonized. And so I was reading this article today. Magic mushrooms may be the biggest advance in treating depression since Prozac. And this is from newsweek.com. And I was looking at the article, and it opens with a young man and his experience. He's a 34-year-old man who was depressed and just not getting any better. And his psychiatrist decided to allow him to be part of this case study, and they were going to use psychotherapy and then this drug, a mind-altering drug, to help treat his depression. And for him, it worked. And the drug that is going into clinical trials is psilocybin. It's psilocybin, and I could be saying it wrong. Psilocybin. Either way, you heard the spelling, you can go and look it up. But the drug worked for him, and it helped him to overcome his depression. And as I read more and more of this article, I understood that the medical community strayed away from using drugs and doing more studies on drugs like this, because in like the 60s, people took advantage of the drugs and used them for recreational purposes. Grace and peace, Love Jackie. Grace and peace, Siobhan. I hope y'all are well. But yeah, people like were using it for recreational purposes. And when we do things and we don't put boundaries around the things that we do, we tend to overdo it and overindulge. And there was a lot of repercussions from it. So some people in the medical community actually suspect that this drug and the ability it has to help heal people, the progressions in it, the advancements in it could have been way further along had there not been such demonization around psychedelic drugs and negative stigmas based on people using it for recreational purposes and overusing it. And I thought that was cool. Something else that I thought was cool in this article also is that the way this drug works, it attaches to an area in an area in the brain to serotonin, and it attaches to the serotonin in your brain, and it stays there. And that's why people have these prolonged, wonderful effects in most cases, right? They have these prolonged experiences where they are in kind of like this lucid dreaming state. They're seeing these beautiful images and pictures, notwithstanding that sometimes there can be those bad trips and bad experiences. But the way the drug works, it attaches to this area in the brain, the serotonin, and it helps to make people feel better because it lingers on that area. Something else that I saw that was interesting in this article, I'll encourage y'all to read it too, is that the effects of the drug is long lasting. So they can have these experiences that can linger for like hours, but beyond that, the impacts of using the drug can help them out for like months, which I thought was really cool. So you take this drug, you have this experience, and it can really, really turn your life around in a day. I was like, that is so cool. So when I started thinking about all of this and how drugs were demonized, and some drugs need to be demonized, rightfully so. When I thought about all of this, I considered something to myself, like, should people rethink their approach to certain progressions in science and in medicine? And instead of just demonizing it and saying like, oh, I remember LSD and this is what it made me do. Not me personally, because I don't do drugs. I don't like that. Told y'all that earlier. I like to be in control of myself. I don't like any of that tripping out. And no, I remember, okay, so here's a real funny experience. I remember going to the hospital and having a treatment done. And when I came home, like the medicine made me feel very tripped out. And I called and I was like, what did you all give me? Like, what did you give me? And this is what I'm taking. Is there any way that this medicine could react poorly with whatever you gave me? Because I am not feeling great right now. And they confirmed that it could. So I was like, let me go to sleep until how I feel wears off, because I don't like this feeling. Don't like it, don't like it, don't like it. Okay, so let me see. So Love Jackie said, yes, studies are being reconsidered. Angel Williams is chiming in. She says, I know people that used to have epileptic seizures, but use CBD and no longer have seizures. They also off their antidepressants. I think that's so cool, right? It's so cool. Like even like with marijuana, and I don't do this either, but CBD and what's happening, like, and people being able to use this and great things happening. Doesn't it suck that because people like abuse stuff, it makes us demonize it when all along it could have been something that was helping to heal us and that God put here to help heal us, right? You know? So that's what ultimately all of this made me think about. The ayahuasca, the magic mushrooms, the clinical trials that this psilocybin is going into. It made me think that all along this stuff could have been put there to help heal us, but because someone caught a hold of the bad side and abused it, like it set us back. So I'm excited about what's going to be happening. I definitely hope it helps to heal people. And I mean, you have people that are doctors, that are scientists, that are researchers, and let them do their jobs, you know. That doesn't mean go out in the streets and go try to pick something up and treat yourself and microdose yourself. No, 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 no. Even though mushrooms are legal in some areas from what I've seen. So a lot of areas it's definitely legal. But anybody else got anything to say? Looks like for the most part, everybody is agreeing that we should let scientists be scientists, right? And figure out how to heal people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. Angel Williams says Big Pharma is also a business, not trying to demonize them, but it's a business. Absolutely. Every company has the agenda of making money, staying afloat, and evolving on its brain. That's its number one priority. Love Jackie said, yes, for medicinal purposes, I've come around to really appreciating the studies that have assisted these individuals. It's beautiful. I know that's right. Like, can you imagine someone who's been living with depression or maybe like bipolar disorder being able to go see a doctor and the doctor figuring out a treatment plan for them and doing it in a safe way and helping to heal their brain and helping to reset their brain. That's amazing. That's amazing. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. So yeah, I wanted to share that with you all and get your opinion on it. Yeah. Love Jackie said, yep, as long as they aren't trying to play God, be God, I'm good. And I don't think most doctors are trying to do that. I think they're just really trying to help people and build off of the research previous generations. Let me ask you a question. Does anyone disagree? Does anyone think that we should stay out of this and not use psychedelic means? We shouldn't use dang, can I talk today? We shouldn't use hallucinogenics to try to help rewire and reset and heal our brains. Does anyone disagree? And has anyone heard that of the daggone ayahuasca? I would not try that, y'all. I would not. I don't even know if I would want to be around somebody while they're on it. Like, I don't want to see people trip out. But then again, I'm not a doctor or a medical professional, so I don't even think I could work around it. I'm good for helping to nurture people and all of that, but someone having like a break in their mind, like I just would not want to be like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry. Like, I'm crying with you. I'm so sorry that you're going through this. It would not work. So it looks like some people on here heard of the ayahuasca. Yeah. And that Netflix series is probably still available. It's called Unwell. It had like 6 episodes. And the ayahuasca is like the 5th episode, but I suggest y'all look at it. There was one woman on there who is she's paralyzed, and she said that she's been able to slowly regain her ability to walk. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if she did this while she was taking the ayahuasca or if it happened like afterwards, but I thought that was cool. You know, that's pretty cool. And I can't say if her experience is real or not. I can just tell you what I saw. But yep, that's it. Some things are dangerous, should only be done in a controlled environment. Right. Which is like, man, leave it up to the professionals to do and to help you with and let them do their thing. But even when you're around a professional, you know, one-offs can happen and something can occur and go wrong. So I think I saw that on one of those other experiences. But anyways, go and check out the Unwell on Netflix, the ayahuasca episode. Also consider watching Non-Perfect Strangers. It's got all of this stuff is mature content, y'all. So don't watch it around your children. And well, I would suggest you don't watch it around your children. I hate to be so directive and tell you what to do. I would suggest you don't watch it around children. Also, there's a cool interview on YouTube on the Breakfast Club's YouTube channel. And the guy talking about his experience with ayahuasca is Neil Brennan. And then the article that I was reading about today is from Newsweek, and it's titled Magic Mushrooms May Be the Biggest Advance in Treating Depression Since Prozac. And the article just talked about the strides that are being made and that this therapy is offering hope to people, and that this drug that's found in these magic mushrooms is going into clinical trials. And the drug is called psilocybin, and or psilocybin. It's called something like that. So sorry, the phone is ringing and going off. We still have a house phone for one reason and one reason only. But again, I think that the advances are pretty cool, just because this is something that is actually helping people. And as long as we leave it to the professionals, let them do their thing, let them give the treatment, let them share what they want to share about it and help people. I think it's really, really cool, especially for someone who has understood very clearly what it's like to deal with depression, you know what I'm saying? And not feeling like you can get sad, and being told that, hey, your brain isn't making enough serotonin, and that's the chemical that makes you feel happy. So for the rest of your life, you're going to have to take antidepressants. It's like a diabetic takes medicine to help keep them healthy and alive. You have to take this medicine to help keep you from being depressed. So I understand what it's like for people who have had that type of diagnosis, who have been told something like that. I get it. To see that there could be a possibility of hope that could come for them pretty quickly, I think that's dope. Now, in my experience, thank God I don't have to take any medications, and the Lord really did let my brain rewire itself and reset itself, and I'm good. But for other people, like, I think this will be dope for them. So I'm a proponent of the doctors and the researchers doing their thing. I'm not taking it though. I am not taking it. All right. So I am Lola with the Smoking Prophet. I hope you all enjoyed today's short little episode about some news updates that I saw. I definitely enjoyed talking with you about this, and also hearing your insights and opinions. Maybe one day I'll start doing this more seriously, so that you can actually like come into the room and talk. Maybe I'll set up a room or something to do these types of talks. But anywho, until next time, I hope y'all have the most amazing life. Bye.